Hi guys, I'm Zihan and it's glad to meet you here. Today I'm gonna show you guys how did I make a little blue dress for myself. So I've been so into Latin dance lately, and this dress is actually specifically made for Latin dance. So let's just get it started. So the first step is to create an interesting silhouette for your dress, and you could actually create any shape you want. So basically just draping your fabric, and you use the pen to mark down where you want to cut it, where you want to sew it together, and be sure that you take the accurate measurement, because it's gonna be a close-fitting dress. And when you are sure about the silhouette you created, you can use the scissors to cut down the fabric, and be sure that you are following the marks you've made on the fabrics. And in this process, you could actually feel free to adjust the shape when you feel it's not perfect. And don't throw away the little pieces that you cut from the fabric right away, because maybe you want to use it for some decorations or something else. So save it just in case. And I just decided to use these little pieces to do some decorations on my dress, just like some cascades. It could be interesting and chic. And when you are sure about the structures and the entire constructions of your dress, you could start to sew them together. Maybe you have 3 pieces, maybe you have 4 pieces, just whatever how many pieces you have to sew them together. And before you stitch them together, you could check one more time, make sure that the shape is good, just adjust it a little bit so you can make a perfect dress. And be careful when you use a sewing machine to sew this kind of strong elastic fabric, because it could be tricky sometimes. Don't stretch it too much when you sew them together, and it will be better if you use the pin to pin them together before you sew it. And when you are done with the body part, it's always important to add some decorations. I made some little cascades decorations on my dress. Making the cascades is actually similar as drawing a triangle, which means you find the highest point firstly, and then you find the 2 diagonal lines diverging from the highest point. And on the diagonal lines, you'll find some other points, and on the diagonal lines, each point is actually lower than the points before it. And if you're not sure about the location, you can always use the pins to pin it firstly, and you can always spend a longer time to adjust the shape that you want. And hand sewing is definitely the best way to sew the decorations on the dress, but it could cost much time. However, if you want to make some cascades, the most important thing is just to locate the little points. So you could just stitch it on another piece of fabric and let it hang diagonally on the big piece of fabric. Which means you only need to hand sew in those located points and make them be stitched diagonally onto another piece of fabric. And when you finish the hand sewing, you could use a sewing machine to straighten it. Just like you follow in the located points and you connect the located points. In this way, the cascade would hang more naturally.